Hello racing fans and a warm welcome to Trackside, proudly brought to you by World Sports Betting. Bet to the best, bet with WSB. Well, I trusted you well. As always, you're having a fair week and hopefully it is turning out to be a profitable week for you and you're looking forward to this weekend's racing because local racing, it's a double header. On Saturday, we race at Durbanville and Turffontein and then we move over to Greyville. On Sunday, I had a look at the three cards, and I've come up with what we have come to know is the 4 to follow on the show. I've just picked up one for Saturday, and I think that will be the shortest price favorite for the weekend. But nevertheless, we are going to kick-start our trackside travels with what I think is a very special horse. And then on to Sunday, well, I picked out three runners there, and I really like the look of card at Greyville on Sunday. So away we go with our 4 to follows. As always, two trebles will be up on the World Sports Betting menu. And the horse that we're going for on Saturday will come up at Turffontein in race number 3. And yeah, you guessed it. Her name is Champagne Cocktail. And I think that she will be priced up in the red on what we saw first time out. But the full sister to the Hollywood Bet Durban July winner called Sparkly Water. Well, she debuted at Turffontein on the inside track over 1,700 meters, which is never easy to go around the turn of the distance for any horse and any track anywhere in the world, I would presume. But what a debut performance it was from her. She attracted the betting support, which was clear to see for you, the valued racing fan. And then she was super impressive. The way she won that day, she made that field look very, very ordinary. She was in a race of her own. She was geared down a long way out by JP van der Merwe. And what was really nice to see, the fact that they were so spread out because she won by, 8 lengths, let's call it. A horse that was 8 lengths back called Annie with an E came out next time out in a work riders race partnered by Sam Bosia. And she won by 8 lengths. So that form line is held up. And I see that the handicapper has given her a mark of 94, which basically means in this Fillies and Mares 89 handicap, which is a B division class, she'll receive 9 kg weight per age allowance. So that brings her down to a net 76, and she's carrying a very low mass here of 53.5 kgs. Now, on what we've seen to date, which is only just one run, and you can add the progress to come with racing, the progress to come with experience and time, I think we'll all agree that she is very capable of achieving much higher than this 94, as she matures with racing. Number 6, Champagne Cocktail. So this is a nice test for her. There are some fairly decent fillies in the race, when you have a look at the opposition in the small field. But I think the stable of MDK, that's Mike de Kock, they have found the right type of field for her here. To just make her grow in confidence after that superb victory first up. And she looks like the part in this type of field. She is an exciting filly, as I mentioned, and she's one to follow. So I'm expecting her to go very easy here and make it 2 from 2. So that's the only run-up that we've picked out on Saturday. And then on to Sunday. Now, this card I really like. There are a few runners that I like on the card, but I've managed to narrow down my selections to 3 of them. And we'll begin in race number 3 on Sunday. Horse number 1, Master of the Turf. It's Robinson and Mudley that will team up. Now, first up, I want to touch on the pedigree because the dam she won over 1,600 meters. And this individual is a half-brother to Inventrix that sprinted, but Inventrix is by What a Winter. This horse being by Master of My Fate, he's clearly shown how Frank is placed in. Debut 1,400. Next start 1,600 meters, that those distances, 7 and 8 furlongs, looks to be on the sharp side for him. And both those races, well, he's made steady, good progress through the field. Now, having watched his run over 14 and 1,600 meters, I have no doubt that he's going to appreciate the extra distance. And now going 1900 meters, I think is going to suit him perfectly. Look at the draws he's jumped from. On debut, 13 out of 13. His second start, he jumped from draw 6 out of 14. And today, it's pole position. So, I don't expect him to be as far back as he's been in both these runs to date, where he's had some work to do to get past the field, which he has done. His first start, he was the fastest finisher. His second start, he was the second fastest finisher. Now over 1900 meters from pole position, if he's within striking distance turning to the straight, let's say in the first half of the field from draw 1, you don't want to change the horse's running style because he seems to enjoy a patient ride, and then he seems to gather his stride and find a good finish. So from draw 1, if he's in the first half of the field, I can't see any other horse matching him for speed over the final 400 meters, and he will release the extra distance. I like him a lot. Race 3, horse number 1, Master of the Turf. Then on to race number 4, which is over the Hollywood Bet Durban July distance of 2200 meters. Now this filly was tipped strongly on the show last time out, and we're going for her again. Her name is Diana the Huntress, and last time out the starting price was 9-2, but her opening price was 6-1, so she did attract a fair share of bidding support. Number 1, Diana the Huntress. And well, whilst we were confident of her winning, I must just add, for her to oblige, it just was an unbelievable performance and an unbelievable ride by Muziani. She had no right to win where she was at the 200-meter mark. Things went horribly wrong for her. She was hampered as she had to weave her way through horses, and how she got up was just amazing to watch. Number 1, Diana the Huntress. So she is a filly with a lot of heart, a lot of guts, and a lot of courage, as she showed last time out. And from that form line of last start, well, a horse that came out to win was Gary Rich's runner, whose name escapes me. Yeah, it was a second place runner. You Deserve It that came out to win next time out. So that form line has held up pretty well. And she is drawn pole position, but I just feel that draw, I'm not going to say it's immaterial, because a good draw is a good draw, and she's got that draw 1. But Muziani will just have some idea on where he wants a position turning into the straight, because from draw 1, I don't see a hustle and bustle to keep that position. Muzi will be very happy for horses to go around him and get their position, but I don't see her at the back of the field, in this field of 10 runners that go to post at the time of recording this show. But when they turn into the straight, that is where she means business, because we've seen on a few occasions, the ones where she's won a maiden and last time out, that she can really turn on the jets. Number 1, Diana the Huntress, and I'm expecting nothing less from her on Sunday. I'm expecting her to be positioned maybe in the first half of the field, like we mentioned in the previous race with Master of My Turf, and when Muzi presses that button, that'll be it. Number 1, Diana the Huntress in race number 4. Then on to what is the main event on the day on Sunday, and it is the Model Mile. I see Foresight has put their name behind that, so it's called the Foresight Model Man Mile, which is obviously over 1600 meters. Now, this horse, Mexican Pete, has already started to just grab your attention, capture your imagination on what he's shown to date. Well, trainer Frank Robertson, he's got some lovely young 3-year-olds that he stepped up, and this is certainly one of them. The other that also already grabbed our attention takes his place in the Graham Beck Stakes next weekend, which will be at Turffontein, and his name is Sovereign State. But this horse, Mexican Pete, the first start, easy, 1400 meters. Second start, 1600 meters, even more easier than how he won on debut. And what's a massive plus for that last win is the form line. It is a super powerful form line here in KZN. I'll read it out to you. Second in that race, Teichmann. Third in that race, Time Together. Fourth in that race, Fish Eagle. And seventh in that race was Ed Gardner. They all come out to win their next start, and he beat them easily. Number 2, Mexican Pete. He's nicely drawn at 2. He tops the best weighters column amongst his generation here. The best weighted column got in at an 82, and the next best are joint Navajo Nation and Let the Flag Fly at 77. So he's already achieved much higher than this field, and all he just needs to do is continue improving and just mature with racing number 2 Mexican Pete. And I think against these 3-year-olds, he will be very hard to beat. Very, very hard to beat than what I've seen to date. And just the strength of his form line last time out. So a lot of confidence here. Race 7, horse number 2, Mexican Pete. And that is it, guys. You got a 4 to follow. Just the 1 runner who will be short. Champagne Cocktail on Saturday. And then 3 runners that I really like in Greyville on Sunday. Those 2 trebles will be up on the World Sports Betting menu. And I wish you, the racing fan, all the best over the weekend. As always, on behalf of World Sports Betting, thanks to all the punters, but more importantly and more especially, thanks to you, the valued customer. Have a blast, make a huge profit, and hopefully it turns out to be a wonderful, successful weekend for you, the valued racing fan. And until we meet again, which will be next week, you take care. Salani guys.